Woohoo! My order landed and I'm getting Primark tomorrow. So happy.
So,
I better, I better
something
do my
terrible happened. We were recording,
But
and I failed to hit record. I apologize, you as the viewers. Oh, I started streaming, guys, while recording.
I was about to say it's probably happening. Kenny does this
Yeah.
when I'm like leaning over and
Well,
not paying
yeah,
attention.
welcome to the Black Otaku Gamers podcast, and I'm actually pretty salty because my first intro was dope as fuck, but yeah, so...
Yeah, he actually didn't flub a single word.
I didn't
The
flub
one
at
time
all.
He doesn't surprise this bullshit.
I was doing well, and I was nice about it too. Yeah, so we talked about gateway anime in this podcast, and I was doing pretty well in the channel and Twitch channel and stuff. So you should totally check us out every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time and hang out with us. Talk to us. We want to hear your opinions too. You know what I'm saying? Well, yep. In this podcast, we talk about gateway animes, and we also talk about the giveaways we're going to be doing soon. So next week, be there for the giveaways. It's going to be at the end of the next podcast, most likely. And
don't miss out.
Don't fucking miss out. I swear to God, I'll fucking find you. Well, yeah. So we're going to cut into where I started recording, and we're talking about My Hero Academia, how great it is, and how shitty another series is. So you'll find out what we're talking about. But, yep, I am Blacktron, a.k.a. Kenny. That's Loha over there.
A.k.a. Mr. Sock, a.k.a. Loheezy in the Twitch chat.
Loheezy. Commander Clark down here under me. He's always under me. You feel me? Ooh. Oh, he's holding my fingers. Oh, that's weird. Okay. And then Rokut's over there, Nick. Oh, yeah. Come on.
I don't know which way
I don't
I'm
know
going.
which way is Nick.
This isn't working. Alright, yeah, this isn't working. You guys are so bad!
I don't know which way we're going!
Alright, I'm gonna cut into the podcast now. You guys have a wonderful night. Thanks for watching.
Gateway anime from last year.
Yeah, I think that is a good point, especially since it is gonna be the next Naruto. Like, legit. It's gonna take place of Naruto. Boruto? No, fuck Boruto. My Hero Academia is gonna be the next Naruto. That's it.
It's gonna be so lit.
And just to mention what I was talking to Loha about earlier today was there's like a rumor that My Hero Academia Season 2 is going to be a 2-core season, which the last season was only 13 episodes, I think. So for it to possibly be 24 to 25 this next season is going to be crazy. Especially since there's so much material that they haven't even touched on because the manga versus the anime, like the manga... Whatever the anime left off on, they're on like chapter 14 or something like that. Like it's super and they're on like 100 and something chapters right now. So it's doable. But yeah, My Hero is a good option, especially since we have such a big fan base of heroes here.
Yeah.
That's another 2016 show that you haven't touched on too.
What?
For those that actually like comedies, Konosuba started in 2016. The only problem with that though is like they make a lot of like references to the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So while it's funny in itself,
yeah,
any person that's new to anime would probably miss those references.
So yeah, you're right. Especially since there's a lot of tropes like that.
Yes.
Like darkness alone is like. What the fuck? People who don't know anime would be like so confused. Like everyone else kind of makes sense, but then when you see darkness and she's just like super masochist, it's like, all right, like that. It's kind of hard to get somebody into like a harem or super ecchi fan service. Like it's not easy. The only like old show like I was looking at like old series that I could think like that with. Like, what can I ease somebody into that's fan service harem and see what they think. And, like, my pick was, like, Tenchi Muyo from way back. Because, like,
it's hilarious. That's what I was thinking, too.
It's easy to get into. Yes, it's harem and shit, but it's, like, it's not ridiculous. And it's, like, just enough for you to be like, okay, well, if this isn't for me, this isn't for me. But you're giving it a chance.
I want to clarify something real quick. What he said was This Isn't Ridiculous is a show where they took a rabbit that meowed, they'd throw it into the sky, and it would turn into a planet-destroying battleship. I just
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to point that out.
Yeah.
I wanted to point that out to you. That was, in Kenny's word, not that far out there.
Not
so
too
those of you that are
bad.
watching this and wondering, yeah, that's where anime takes you. And,
It's a fun
on that
journey,
note-
man. Just take the ride. Don't worry about it. You know, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So yeah. Now the reason why I brought up the 2016 thing is because 2016 was, quite frankly, one of the best years of anime we've had in a while. Where like, I think the last good year we had was 2014, possibly maybe 13. I don't remember.
13.
And
13.
you know, because 2013 that's when Kill la Kill came out and like a whole bunch of other shit. So like
2015 was pretty good too, though.
what
They
was
have some good key things in there.
there was like One Punch Man, which is also a good gateway anime.
Yeah.
One Punch Man's great because you got the superhero aspect. It's fucking hilarious, and the action is so like great to watch. You know,
If you are a fan of deadpan comedy, like I am, I would definitely recommend that to someone. Like if they said they like deadpan stuff, that's it. Because it's just like, oh, cool, you can destroy a planet. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Oh, literally that picture that Mark loves. Okay. Like, all right, you destroyed galaxies. Okay.
and that's where if you're
Zero
into
bucks.
that, you can always check out Mob Psycho too. But that's
Yes.
you know, like I think Mob Psycho was one of the best shows last year. And if you don't, you know, agree with me, then we can fight. I'm down. So I just wanted to make sure you understood that it is that good of a show, and I am willing to fight as much as I'm not a fighter. And so, yeah, what else is there?
I mean, there were other things in 2015, like shoot, what was it?
Route A Tokyo Ghoul came out then.
Yeah, Plastic Memories. If you want something feel good, not feel good, feelsy rather.
Did you write
Okay,
that on your list?
No, I just saw the name. I was like, oh man, that was in 2015.
Well, what about... Alright, slice of life itself, right, as a genre, is so hard to get people into.
Yeah.
Like, Nick can agree, and because Nick hates it. Like, there are certain people you just can't do it with. You can't just be like, here, have it. I think the only ones you could do that with is Golden Time and...
But that was barely slice of life too. That was
Barely.
mostly drama.
But
mostly-
it was
Yeah.
fucking hilarious. And Your Lie in April. But then Your Lie in April is like in a weird genre
Heavy
place too.
drama.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would say that's a lot heavier.
But
Golden Time.
it's when they're not heavy, it's pretty light. Like it's super happy and go lucky. The opening's way too happy for you to even be sad. Like you could try.
Like when someone tells me slice of life, the first thing I think of is K-On!
Keon?
Yeah. Because that's
K-On!
like just that's literally like by the book slice of life.
Or like what is it? Haruhi? Haruhi.
Haruhi Suzumiya?
Yeah. That too.
Those are actually two also
On your
pretty
list.
good gateway animes. Some people it's like iffy with Haruhi, but I still see it
wouldn't
as like a
recommend that.
gateway.
Yeah, that one.
You
that
know
one's
what?
like extra weird.
Mark actually got me into that one, and I did like that. So I guess I should say I can't say anything about that. That was a good one.
I think Slice of Life, I said this before, I feel that anime just can't live up to the hype when it comes down to Slice of Life. I like all of my manga Slice of Life way better than my anime Slice of Life. It's just because they can't adapt it well. It's only like a few series that I read, loved, and just like continued to love. Like I think Yamada and the Seven Witches was actually really good adaptation. And I couldn't think of any other ones that I thought were good. Would you say Nisekoi is a good adaptation?
If it takes you that long, I guess it's a no.
Yeah, I think it's good, but I think it could have been done better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good gateway to the manga, to the source material. So there's that. Like I didn't even watch the second season of Nisekoi. I just halfway through the first season, I just started binging the manga.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm pretty sure Nick can complain for days about Slice of Life, but he has his own personal reasons about it. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if you guys feel the same way, but like, if you were to say like top 5 like gateway animes, I'm pretty sure like if you're recommending to somebody that's into like action, you probably recommend like Samurai Champloo or like Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, something like that.
Rurouni Kenshin.
Rurouni Kenshin.
Kind of.
I feel like
As
Rurouni
for
Kenshin
action?
can be fine. I don't really see an issue with that, especially if
Yeah.
they're into like Samurai is just fun to watch.
Yeah.
You can't not like Samurai shit. Like, it's fun.
It's really cool stuff.
So if you're looking for action, you want to watch Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's your move.
This guy. You've
Activated my trap card.
Yeah, as soon as you said you activated my trap card, I immediately thought of Felix from ReZero. I couldn't help myself there. Yeah.
I imagine like the latte I showed you guys a photo of.
So, Death Note, right? Death Note's a good gateway, but I
it
fucking
though?
hate Death Note so much.
I mean,
Is it?
It is.
I mean-
it is for the no. As a show, like to get somebody into anime, it's pretty good for that reason. Because you watch like a crime thriller ish thing. I don't know how you fucking categorize Death Note. It's such a mess. But it's something that the average person in America watching regular drama TV shows would be into.
I agree with Kenny. It's a good gateway, but it's not a good anime.
I don't like it. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like it.
Actually, Mark's assessment's pretty accurate. But when it comes to action, now I feel that it's like, okay, cool, my ears perked up. Because if it comes down to comedy, I do recommend stuff like Konosuba. If it's an action, I would definitely recommend Berserk because it is just balls to the wall escalation. Every enemy and encounter you see in that series as a whole just escalates up from initially zombies to tree demons to torture victim spirit demons to a guy who ends up becoming an angel and just literally spits fire. Like, that's how hot his mixtape is, just
It's lit.
flat out. It is.
So I'm pretty sure you
And
would recommend
it's
that
good.
and like Trigun or something like that.
Yeah, definitely try Gun, because yeah, that was another one of my the top 5 concepts was that and Outlaw Star, because space stuff I feel like Gundam.
Outlaw
If
Stars
you
on
like
my list too.
action, Gundam is definitely got to be on there because Gundam is the cliche intro. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure we all remember watching Gundam Wing on Cartoon Network.
So it would
And
be
just being
like
like, wow,
Gundam
that
Wing.
was
Is
cool.
that the one you would recommend of all the Gundams? Or
If-
Iron-Blooded Orphans.
That's what I was gonna say. I'd recommend Iron Blooded Orphans if I had to. Like, before I
If
just said
someone's
Gundam,
never watched Gundam in their life,
I
would you
don't recommend
still
G Gundam.
recommend Iron Blood Gundam. I don't think anyone
still
would recommend that.
Gundam is good though.
G Gundam's good, but it's like completely way off from like the typical Gundam formula.
That's why it's good. I think G Gundam's better than Wing. Like after watching more Gundam, the more I think about Gundam Wing was not good.
Yeah, it's just like we said with Death Note. It's a good gateway, but not a good anime.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you watch back after the fact and you're like, wow, that was awful. It's just like when you're younger and you start drinking, you're like, oh yeah, this is a really great box wine, or oh man, PBR, this stuff's great. And then like 10 years later, you're like, I used to drink that piss, really? That's exactly what it is. It's
Pisswasser.
a gateway drug. Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, I want Kenny to chime in on this one.
What?
As for the combo of comedy and action and that whole escalating, getting better and better every single time, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I think JoJo is like the ultimate gateway to like shonen fucking ridiculous shit. Like if you can go through JoJo, you can watch anything, man. JoJo is good. It gets so good, and I don't know why it's good. That's my problem. I like it so much. I finish the season, and I'm like, what did I actually like about it? I have no clue. Like, it's just like, it's one of those, like, I guess the formula just came together and it happened It's like the
Yes.
Powerpuff Girls, you know, like they got the sugar spice,
Yeah.
everything nice, and then some random shit.
Chemical X, yeah.
Chemical X.
You thought it was going to be Chemical X, but it was really Dio.
Dio or like I don't know.
I still need to catch up on that. Only reason I haven't is because I just haven't had time.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, I'm like 13 episodes behind. I'm just gonna marathon it one day.
Yeah, JoJo's like the perfect show to watch. Like if you're homesick and you're just like not feeling it. Like if you're in a bad mood and you just want to like binge something, that's what you'll binge, and you will walk away from it a stronger man.
Yes.
Or woman.
No, you'll become a man. You'll get that aura. You'll get the stand right behind you, and all of a sudden you're a man. I wish we had a caricature of that like right now, just us in like.
I think
JoJo.
people who
Art
first
style.
get into JoJo are like kind of scared of it. I think that's what it is. Like they don't know what it is, and then it's just like it's too outlandish. Like especially if you're watching Phantom Blood. Phantom Blood's like
Oh yeah.
so zip zip zip. Like you don't really know what's going on at all. Like battle tendency is actually really good, and like it's not just the action itself, but all the characters are great. You know, I can't complain about any of them. So I think it was like an issue I had with it, but it was like one of those it's JoJo shrugs. You know, it just kind of like, I was JoJo. I can't complain. So yeah.
I mean, when the semi narrator and his best friend is Ario Speedwagon, I mean, it's kind of hard to just take the show super seriously because his best friend is Ario Speedwagon. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
In the 1800s.
See, if you want to talk about bad series that are gateways, I'm gonna say it. Sword Art Online. It's a bad series, but a good gateway. It's something you could show somebody that's not in the anime. They'll walk away from it liking it. I don't know why. But, like, if they watch the first season, they'll be like, oh, yeah, you know, that was really good stuff. Can I get some more of that Naruto, please? So...
Honestly, if I was to recommend Sword Art Online to someone who's like just starting anime fresh, I'd probably say Sword Art, but then I'd also recommend shoot, what was it called again? Log Horizon along with it.
So you want
Because
them
that is
to, like, reshape, like, let them understand that this is a bad anime, and here's, like, this, you know? This is a good video game anime.
Kenny Buttkicker is asking, how is SAO a bad series?
How is it good? Like, literally the first half of the first season's okay until it gets stupid.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as they introduce, like, the program daughter thing, I just kind of lost interest. I've watched a lot of it. It's just not for me. And it's, like, not just me. It's, like, I don't want to say it's popular opinion, but popular opinion is everyone hates it. But there are a lot of people that still enjoy it. So
Yeah, for me, it was like I know I enjoyed it. I watched all of it, but it was like it really just like fell off to what it should have aimed for, and it just like and then they just fucking crashed and burned out the end.
yeah.
Like there were a lot of elements
Yui
to it
is
that
the daughter.
totally just completely broke the series.
Like I liked the first episode. I watched first season. I watched the first season. I liked it, and as soon as we are going through the Elven part, like the flying fairy component, that was when I stopped watching it and I gunned through it. Like I had to force myself to watch this. I didn't enjoy it, and that's why when they went to the next one, the next RPG where they have the guns and stuff, I was like, I watched like 3 episodes and it was like, haha, it's funny. Kirito looks like a girl, blah blah blah. I just couldn't.
Well,
Yeah.
all right. I like the concept of the Phantom Bullet. I really like it a lot.
Yeah.
But the execution was bad.
80% of the screen time
Uh,
was a certain character's rear end.
yeah, it's very annoying, and just the fact that it just felt really either rushed at some points or like they didn't know what they wanted to do next. You know, I just wasn't a fan of it. And me personally, like, yeah, I like seeing Kirito wielding like a lightsaber and shit. Like that's dope. But
Yeah.
if the rest of the story is not attractive to me, then I'm not going to stick to it.
The fourth part though, after Gun Gale,
I still gotta watch it.
the
Yeah.
Mother Zarya arc, that was the in my opinion, it was like one of the best arcs. I kind of liked it more than the the shoot, what's it called? The first
You
one.
got it.
Yeah. Are you
The-
gonna watch Ordinal
Yeah.
Scale?
I have no idea.
I want to
One
give
of
it
my
a shot.
friends,
It looks good.
one of my friends linked me the page to buy the ticket, and I asked, "Are we watching this?" And they never replied.
Oh, sick.
Like, I think it's visually, that's one thing that Sword Art has for it. Like, visually, they are great at, what they do.
It's a pretty clean animation.
But, no, that's the thing. Like, I like the artwork. The animation I don't like too much. Like, it's okay. It's not, like,
Really?
top notch.
Yeah, the animation was okay.
There's so much other series that make that one look like shit. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not saying, like, old, like...
Mob Psycho 100.
Mob Psycho 100, yes, but I mean, like,
Suck.
series that weren't popular or weren't big were still better. Like, what's that thing? Was it Myriad?
Oh.
Myriad Prism, whatever that shit's called?
No, the Phantom thing.
Yeah, that
Oh
one.
yeah.
That had really good animation and had no love, like, at all. At all.
Anything made by KyoAni is like high quality animation.
It was so pretty. It's just the boobs, you know?
The boob is so pretty.
Like, another bad, I want to say bad, but could have been better, I guess, would be Attack on Titan or Cabaneri, because they're both in the same spectrum, essentially. They can both be used as a gateway, but they're both bad at parts. Extremely bad at certain parts. Animation-wise, like, yeah, I like Mume's fight. It was cool. But man, what the fuck? Like, I know so many people I would say, yo, Attack on Titan, watch it. And I say, why? And they don't know. Like, it annoys me. And, like, if you go look up other people and, like, they're like, top, most recommended anime, they'll say Death Note. They'll say, fucking that one, Attack on Titan, and, like, Cabaneri, whatever. And I'm just like, why? And they're like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand how you can recommend something as bad to people to get them into it. I know that if I'm going to give someone something, like, I think a race is, like, the only thing that there's a level of badness I would still recommend. Because in its own realm, it's good. Because cinematography is good. When he wants to get all feelsy and stuff, like, it had one of the best heartfelt moments ever. You know, like, it's a good series, but the prediction in that series, like, for me to watch a show, a crime drama, a murder mystery time traveling series, and know who the killer is in the first 2 episodes, that's a problem. So,
Yeah.
I do like Erased, but I would still recommend it, but it's not great. And I will tell them straight up, it's not great. But I know that you'll walk away from it and say, oh yeah, there's a lot of greatness to it. And I could see other anime that would, like, this would bring me to see other ones that you recommend. Like, Haikyuu and stuff.
Hell yeah.
Hey. So what were your lists? I'm curious now.
I mean, I'm just gonna admit my 3 was, like I said, if you like comedy, Konosuba. And again, the caveat of that being you have to be a gamer. You have to understand gaming. And I figure you'll be able to get a lot of those tropes. Like with Dave, I know he doesn't watch anime, but he knows games. I feel I'm pretty sure he plays RPG games because he plays Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
He would be able to enjoy Konosuba. He'd be able to get the kicks out of that because it does point fun at the healer, tank, DPS,
The press start thing.
archetypes that they have. Yeah, like a lot of it is actually very RPG based more than anime trope based, as far as I say. But action wise, I'd recommend something like Berserk or Gundam. In this case, Iron Blooded Orphans or Gundam Wing, but probably Iron Blooded Orphans because that's just amazing. And then again, the compromise is something like JoJo's, which is comedy and action. But someone in there posted that they didn't like it, and I mean, it is one of those things that if you kind of know what you're getting into, like if you go in blind, like if I stumbled upon JoJo's, I probably wouldn't have been a big fan of it myself. I found out one aspect about it, and that's specifically the world and how that worked, and that's literally like 60 episodes in. That's 3 whole arcs into the series, and it's like 5 seasons in because Phantom Blood, 2 of Battle Tendencies, and then 2 of Stardust Crusade. So yeah, 5. And I mean, it was worth it, and I'm still watching it now because, again, one random comment I saw on Crunchyroll was, "This show, the villains just keep getting more and more intense," and I love something like that that can escalate. Because it's the same reason why for a long time I love Dragon Ball Z, was because you have a technique you can transform. I have a technique I can turn Super Saiyan. It was something cool like that, and it has yet to get stale to me where they're just tacking on extra numbers. It's not just, oh, I can't beat you Super Saiyan 2, I'm gonna go Super Saiyan 3. It's, I can't beat you with my stand, so I'm just gonna make it do some crazy shit to beat your super broken OP stand.
Yeah. Pretty much everything that Joseph does, essentially, in Battle Tendency. Because he literally is like, run! And like, that's his ultimate move. He runs away and he figures out how to stop you. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
Alright. And what about you guys?
Go ahead, Mark.
Mark.
I didn't actually formally make a list.
Alright, cool.
I'll be honest there, because like it really depends on like who I'm recommending it to. Because I know people who like enjoy action, enjoy like those crime, psychological thrillers, but there are also like subcategories within there that it's hard to put people into those categories.
Yep.
You bring up a good point, because like there's this issue where people don't understand that they think that anime is a category. Like you go on Netflix and it's like,
Yeah,
type in anime and like boom, anime category. It's like, well, there's different types of anime, you know, like you gotta put like action anime, slice of life anime, like all those different options. And like I totally know what you mean. So like me personally, if someone said psychological thriller or something like that, I'd be like, oh yeah, you should totally check out Psychopaths, you know, something like that.
yeah, exactly.
So it's good shit though.
Fucks
Good
you up.
shit. Yeah.
I also want to caveat that too for anyone else listening. I didn't mean the Black Swordsman arc. We've established CG is bad for you. It gives you just all sorts of bad things. You're better off drinking lead.
All right, so
Hey man, the CG in Ganso was pretty good. Aside from the whole like uncanny valley of the faces, the CG for everything else was good.
Berserk, I loved the first one, and then I watched Golden Arc, and I honest to God, I just read more. I've read more. I kind of gunned through the anime, and I just took mental notes. Oh, that was different because she got raped by a horse here instead of being raped by a horse there.
Yeah.
So watch Berserk. There's horse rape.
Well, yeah. So I hate CG so much. I'm pretty sure I've said it a few times. I even said it in one of my articles. I cannot stand CG. Like there's very, 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 very subtleness in CG that I'm okay with. Like if you need to animals or like little things like some environment stuff, I'm fine with. Like I feel that the ReZero CG was like perfect because you barely noticed it. Like anything like that is totally fine with me. But if you like, I think it was BBK. Is that what it's called? BBK, BBNK, or something like that.
I dropped that because of the anime.
I hated it so much.
So
get into
bad.
that.
It hurt. It hurt
I watched
so much.
2 episodes. I couldn't stand it.
I couldn't watch more than like 10 minutes of Ajin on Netflix.
Yeah, Ajin's like, and I want to read Ajin. I want to read it just because I don't want to go through that story and watching CG. Fuck that.
I was perfectly fine with that one for some reason. Like I went through the whole both seasons.
Oh really?
Yeah. I didn't find it like I knew it was bad, but I still enjoyed watching it because the story is what kept me there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fine to me.
Yeah. I can't really think of any like old school CG that was like at all, you know, noteworthy from like
But it
old
isn't really
series.
much old school CG
Yeah, they didn't use it.
Yeah.
because CG is still fairly new.
Yep.
Yeah.
And fairly bad.
Well, I'm about to say it's fairly new to being good. I
Sure.
mean, if we're weighing stuff like the
Fairly new to
new,
anime, good anime.
yeah. If we're referring to what's it called?
Big Order.
No, no. The CG levels that we put into media now, like from Rogue One, where they have actors who have been dead or aged 40 plus years, and now you look on there, and as soon as they don't move, it looks like, wow, that could be a real person. Versus Reboot from like 1992, which
Hey
had
man, Reboot
like
was good.
10 megapixels in the entire show, probably. Like the entire show.
Another good example of that is Tron, the newer one. They like recreated him and like made him like younger to fit the story, which I thought was cool. Like that's all CG, but there was like moments where it was super obvious. Also, if you're watching, plan on watching Full Metal Alchemist, the live action, Alphonse is totally CG, and he actually looks really good. So
What actually surprised me about one thing was, and I want to yell at Dave about this later, is the animation in Tales of Berseria is amazing. My IT director, who also happens to be named Dave, was trying to get me in on this, and he finally shows me the trailer, and I'm like, the animation's a little off. They start out with them on a CG cliff. Do I really want to watch this? And it's a CG it's like a CG ocean, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch this. And all of a sudden, like the animation kicks up, and I'm like, dear God, this is amazing levels of animation.
yeah.
I asked him, I was like, are the cutscenes like this? Are there a lot of cutscenes like this? He's like, oh yeah, plenty. I'm like, I'm hooked on that because right there, mwah, beautiful. Just some of the most amazing animation you'll ever see. And I mean, go ahead and watch it and either agree with me or not. But my thought process is, if Dave likes this and JRPGs like this and animation styles like this, then why the hell can't he watch anime?
He likes anime, but it's like levels of anime. He's like
He doesn't.
He likes anime. Like he likes certain anime. He watched ReZero. He watched a few other series, but it has to be good. If it's not good, he's not gonna watch it. And his level of good is very up there because when you think about it, you have to get it. It's not just the quality of the work. It's also people's attention spans to the anime. You know, like if somebody's gonna be watching like a 3-episode test and it's bad, imagine putting someone up to Akka. They'd be like, "Oh no, fuck this." You know what I mean? Because it's way too slow. So like you have to be prepared for something like that. So I understand that. I think
like a lot of times 3-episode tests don't work on the larger series, like a 20-episode.
That's where it goes on. You go on Netflix and you binge it. Like that's how people watch Sword Art, Attack on Titan. You're lying, April.
Oh my God, you're lying, April. That's a good one to watch.
Good
for
binge.
People who like dramas.
Mm-hmm. You want to cry
I wouldn't
yourself to
recommend
sleep?
it to everyone.
Also, I actually watched a video today where this guy was explaining the actual illness that she had, and I was like, "What?" Because they never talk about it at all. Do you know what she had?
Nope.
All right, I'll tell you someday. I
Someday.
forgot.
Glioblastoma.
He thought initially it was ALS, but it was actually something else. So, yeah. Because ALS is like way later in life, essentially.
Yeah, it's chronic as shit.
Yeah, but no. But like some of the symptoms she had was close to it. But there's another one in her age range that makes sense. Especially how she, he took things from like the beginning parts of the show to the end and actually like pointed them out as this is where she gets this symptom. This is where she gets this symptom. I was like, oh shit, my boy. That was good shit. So, yeah, definitely something I had to find and share, so you guys can check that out. But, Loha,
What's up?
What's your list,
You're up.
dog?
My list. My list is not amazing. I have a couple. First of all, GTO.
I was
I
just
will
thinking that.
I will always recommend to anybody. It is it's slice of life, but there's like so much comedy that you can just get
And life
past.
lessons.
Oh, life lessons. It's great. It's so good. It's like it's like you wish this guy was your friend. That's like you wish this guy was real.
Yeah.
You know, it's so good.
I feel
And,
that people don't take that into consideration too when they think about anime. Like, anime has great stories. Quality animation, looks pretty, and well, that could be the same thing. And life lessons. Majority of good anime has life lessons.
Yep.
Like, I can walk away from an episode and say, oh, like it can resonate with you, especially if you watch something like My Hero. I feel like that was the most I felt really good watching like the first episode or two, just seeing what Deku's going through and then seeing how he becomes the hero that he is now, well, trying to be now. So yeah, like people just don't think about that at all, and it's like, bruh, anime will make you a better person. Watch it.
It does. It's like there's something about anime. I remember reading this post one time. It's like anime, it's built for your entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's unlike like TV drama that you see all the time. That's just kind of like it feels more made up than the anime that we watch. And that sounds really weird to say out loud, but
Kind of agree with you there, though.
yeah, it's
See, I don't know about that because I watch Law and Order. That's like one of the only real TV shows that I watch nowadays. And I'm a lot more likely to get shot in New York than I am to be fucking piloting a giant goddamn robot and plowing some big police girl.
Again,
Like, I mean, that ain't gonna be happening.
That's a different genre of things,
Well,
like
actually,
crime.
you know what? I don't know. That might be, but
another one I had on my
Teach his
list
own.
was Beelzebub, which you guys probably don't know about. It was a manga originally, of course, and I had followed it really, really well, and it became an anime, and it's super, super good. It's about this delinquent guy, fucking strongest guy in the world in the school district, whatever, right? And then there is Satan's son comes in, and his son is a baby, and he gets attached to him. And it's pretty fucking funny. It's like it's comedy action all together. Like I wouldn't say slice of life, but it's like school because that's a genre. So it's pretty cool. Supernatural.
I remember going to your house one day and you were watching it, and I was like, "What's going on?" It was so weird.
It's so funny.
Because I think you were showing me the first episode, and I'm just like, "Wait, he just has a baby now?"
Yeah, the baby is not censored at all. By the way, it's a naked fucking baby. All he has is a goddamn what do you call it?
It's kind of like Dragon Ball with Goku. You can see his little penis all the time. It's like, yo, put that thing away, dog.
It's great. And then you could even say that there's like I guess you could call her a maid. I forget what she's actually called though, and she's supposed to be there to take care of the baby as well. And you could honestly call it she's a shot for best girl. And then there's another classmate that could also be running for best girl, and they're just really awesome characters in that show. It's great.
Yeah, I wanted to give that a shot. Like, so when you mentioned GTO and then you mentioned something like this, you'd also probably recommend something like Gintama, you know?
Gintama. I've been slowly watching Gintama, and I know previously I've watched up to maybe I want to say like 60 episodes, and then I came back into it and I'm rewatching everything again, and it's so funny to me still. I watch it and I'm just like, oh, I still laugh at this. This is funny. Like the gags are so funny.
That's good stuff.
And they they love breaking the fourth wall, and that's what's really funny to me. They just love it, and they have like
Oh, yeah.
stupid like narratives inside their head, like, "Hey, I can hear you talking, man. Don't you be talking about me like that." And he's like, "No," I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. This is inside my head." I'm like, "Oh, it's so good."
Yeah, I remember I saw like a clip Putama showing me the other day in my car, and he was just like, "Yo, look at this," and it was like they're looking for the shotgun gun. Somebody had the shotgun gun. And I'm just like, wait, are they talking about what I think they're talking about? And then it's like, hey, can I go to the nurse's office? He's like, no, you can go to the principal's office. It's just like, you see the shotgun gun in his eye. I'm like, what the fuck? And then like, they had like another episode, I'm not sure if it was the same episode, but they had like him doing the Kamehameha and like some other shit where he was like Ichigo. And I'm like, what is going on?
They do that a lot, and they'll censor like the actual names of it, and that's what makes it hilarious.
Oh my god.
One of my other favorite ones is the monkey. If you guys ever see the monkey, it's got like a 7,000 syllable name. It takes them like 30 seconds to say the name, and they say it every goddamn time, and it's hilarious.
I gotta watch
I mean,
Gintama.
there's so many tiny aspects of that. It is genuinely a Japanese version of The Simpsons. That's what I've heard described as, and after watching about 100 episodes of it, like, intermittently, because I watched, like, the first 30 episodes, and then I jumped to after they redid everything in a higher quality, and I watched, like, 60 from there, and I just haven't watched them. I'm on, like, 260-something, I think.
Yeah.
And it's good stuff. It really is. It's very entertaining, especially if you ever watched Rurouni Kenshin, and every now and then some anime. And they'll take pot shots at even like real world stuff. One of my favorite scenes was they made fun of, they had like one of the characters basically ended up turning into Barack Obama. And then they switched him in between being Barack Obama and Will Smith. And it's just like, who are you supposed to be? Because they're like the censor bar, but you can tell it's like a black dude like shit. And it's like he even says like, who the hell are you supposed to actually be right now? And he's like, I think they jumped up to another black character, like another black actor. I think it was like Samuel L. Jackson or something. Yeah, Denzel Washington, I think is who it was. Yeah, and I couldn't remember that, but it was like they had him jumping, and it's the same character animation, but they're just like acting as if he's different black people. It's just like, man, you can't do that here in America. You get taken off so quickly. The Simpsons did something like that.
So now let me ask this, and I will come back to Laha's list. Would you recommend an old or long-running anime?
An old or long-running anime?
Like, would you recommend Naruto, Bleach, One Piece? You know, like the big three, or would you recommend Gintama and like Detective Conan, and, you know, things like that? I personally would recommend Detective Conan because it's wonderful and you should all watch it.
I feel like with long running anime, it's
like Inuyasha.
It's obviously really it's hard enough to get them in anime in the first place. It's like, oh, you should totally watch this. It's super popular. There's like a bajillion episodes. You don't have to fucking watch it all and shit like that. But it's like, at some point, since they're not invested in it, they're gonna like fall off, and I guess that's okay. But it's like, for gateway anime, you should really have something that'll stick, and that'll be like, oh. And then once they find something that's a longer series, and then they know that this might be something that they like, then maybe they'll invest more than just be like, oh, I only watched this because it was a recommendation.
Yeah, like I agree with you, but like there are people out there who, like, if you think that they would be into something like One Piece, they'll take it, sponge, and just like come back and be like, dude.
Yeah, I agree. There are people like that. They're just like fucking mind blown after a week.
Because I know that I did that with Bleach when I first got into it. Because I remember like watching up to the Bount arc and saying, oh man, you know, Bleach is so good, until the Bount arc came and I was like, oh my god, this is really shit.
Yeah.
So then I started reading instead.
Yeah, that was everybody who didn't read the manga, and then they just told everybody that was just watching. They were just like, don't fucking watch that shit. It's fucking pointless. Just fucking skip over it, you know?
Yeah. It's so bad too, because if you read the manga and watch the anime, it's like the transition is so seamless and it annoys the hell out of me. Because,
Yeah.
like, it's like literally a part where, like, he hears somebody outside. He looks outside. And, like, in the manga, it was, like, somebody from the 13. The Big 13. And then in the anime, it was, like, someone else. Like, Yorahara or something like that. So it's just like, what the hell? Why did they do that? It was so weird. And then, like, they would take characters from the filler and bring them into the actual story, and it was annoying. So that was where I had an issue with that. But would I recommend something that's long running? Yes, if I feel that that person would stick it out.
I feel like, hey, this is like, if I were to give them a list, I'm just like, oh, this, and this. But obviously, this is longer. This is better for you if you want to watch it right now. If you have free time, it's like, oh, if you want to take your time with this one, yeah, go ahead, But
yeah, because this binge watchers everywhere. Like, people love binging series, and if they hear something like there's 700 episodes of that show, they won't actually be scared. They'll be like, oh yeah, yeah, because that was
that's
me.
Why...
Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say that's why I remember you talking about watching Detective Conan and pushing your way forward with that, and that's why for a gateway, I don't think I'd ever recommend a long one. I'd recommend at most something with 25 episodes.
It's not that pushing if you go out of your way to find a filler guide.
Mark has his hand raised.
All right, Mark, if you like, you can stand up and.
He's not wearing pants. No.
Put it away. Put it away. That was not a stream.
I do agree with Nick.
We can't do that on Twitch.
I do agree with Nick. I wouldn't recommend anyone a long-running series. The most I would probably recommend him is probably like 40-something, like some of the older series. Like, I know I said don't start with G Gundam for Gundams, but I would recommend G Gundam if you already are interested in the giant robot.
Oh, what a flip-flopper.
Oh no, I mean, like, if you watched the Gundam before, then I'd say, yeah, go ahead and watch G Gundam. G Gundam's good. It's a good spin-off from the typical Gundam show. Same with, what was it? Zoids, New Century Zero. Thing is, I started with Zoids New Century Zero, so I couldn't get into the other Zoids.
Yeah, I'm glad I did it. I did it the stupid, hey, this is a game for us versus the, hey, this is shit real. Like, this is just actual war, and my family got killed by people fighting in these things, and it added a lot of seriousness. So jumping from comical, that stupid little arena thing where they had the referee robot, to
the chop from space.
Yeah, wow, this is actually like a thing. It's not a literal joke game to these people. This is like life or death. Okay, I can get behind this shit.
Yeah. So
yeah, like the 40 episode is like basically my limit of stuff to recommend people. If I would recommend people, it would be usually around like 20-something, maybe multiple seasons.
If they're a binger, you probably hit them with like a 2-season show or something like that. Yeah. So, Loha...
I like how I said that and then... Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to tell Loha if he wanted to continue his list.
Oh.
No, my bad.
It's alright, that was my fault for straying
I only have one more. It's No Game, No Life.
Ooh.
No Game, No Life is good for multiple things. I think it's good for, once again, easing people into the idea of fan service and very different ways of looking at relationships and such. Like, the brother-sister thing is weird to some people. Like, even just the fact that they're with each other the way that they are, people wouldn't like that. And then,
they explained that one up in a very nice way, because they go about saying, well, yeah, Shiro's not really blood, and he's not really into her like that. He says that multiple times.
But they do that in like every series.
Yeah, but they don't know that. Like you said, it's very light on it.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't go crazy.
Yeah,
with that aspect of the show.
If anything, it's
really
more like a realistic. Like, I can actually imagine that, like, a little sister being all protective of her brother. Like, yeah, no. What was her name? Not Sarah. The girl. Stephanie. It's like, oh, Steph, get away from my brother, kind of thing. Like, she'd be very protective of the brother, and the only reason why she was protective against the angel was just like, yeah, the angel, the Flugel, would just like fuck with him more than anyone. So she's like, okay, yeah, you're cool.
Yeah.
So I think that was a very nice dynamic for that. It didn't get weird. It wasn't recently my sister has been unusual.
All right, yeah, it wasn't there, but it's just enough. That's what I mean. Like, it's just enough. It's not terribly like throwing all this shit at you. And I think having a character like Sora, that was his name, right? Sora.
Yeah, Sora and Shiro.
Sora himself as a character is definitely outside of the box of a protagonist. So it's definitely something you get into. I feel the same way about the main character from Trinity 7. The main protaganist, he has like the same feel. He's
that
just
is
like
a harem. We will not. That is not a gateway anime.
Yeah, don't touch that one. I actually personally like it. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But yeah, so that's your last one.
Yep.
Cool. I actually there was another one that I forgot to mention, which was Tokyo Ghoul. I feel like Tokyo Ghoul's in this weird place where I would recommend it, but
yeah, I feel like it's for certain people.
I think it's something I'd recommend more to a manga reader, because it's actually a series that develops better in manga, and like you can get the feel out of it. Watch the first season and be like, huh, this looks like something I want to get into, and then don't watch Route A. Just read the manga, and then you'll be like, oh shit, this is really good. Like, Route A is good for like two things. One being like its soundtrack. Its soundtrack's so good. I love Route A soundtrack, and like some of the fight scenes are pretty cool. Other than that, it's like really not good. And why did they do that? But if they continue on it and they do Tokyo Ghoul, that would probably be dope. Probably. But
another good thing to recommend for gateway anime are movies. Miyazaki movies are excellent gateway anime. It's not a series; it's a movie. But I mean, it's still something to consider.
I think all of his movies are good. Like for that specifically.
I thought Mark actually said boobies. I was like, well, yes, Mark,
pretty similar. It makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, if you want that, there's Infinite Stratos.
If I had to recommend an anime movie, Boy and the Beast would be a nice movie to watch, you know, for somebody that doesn't watch anime. You get the understanding of how things work in anime, where, like, you get a time skip, you get, like... Because I feel like people don't understand the idea of time skips for some reason. And you get the whole fight scene aspect, you get, like, good... I guess like really good voice actors. I think they're all like pretty interesting. But if I had to recommend one right now, Your Name. Your Name's a great anime to watch. That's somebody that's never watched anime will walk away from and be like, damn, that is visually stunning. The story is good, and I want to watch more. But do we have it here? No. So they'll have to wait. But Kimi no Nawa, Your Name, is definitely something that people should watch.
I still have to watch that.
Same.
For movies, I'd have to recommend Final Fantasy Spirits Within.
Final Fantasy Spirits Within.
Don't do that.
So this is the last time that Nick will be on the podcast. It's nice having you, man, you know? And then he's like, Big Order was great.
Alright, so we're time boxed at 10.
Oh, it's 10. Shit, guys. We had fun.
Yeah.
So before we leave, let's talk about giveaways. So we're going to start doing giveaways probably bi-weekly. And at the end of the month, we're going to have a big giveaway. And our next giveaway next week will actually be 2 different things. But it'll be for 3 different viewers. So... we're looking at doing maybe Crunchyroll membership for 3 months. Woo!
Fanfare.
Steam card for $20, something like that. And you have the choice of going either way. So if you are into anime, boom, we got you covered. If you're into video games, boom, we got you covered. And if you're like, well, I don't have Steam, or I don't have, you know, I'm not into anime, I watch things illegally. And it's like, well, it was nice knowing you, man.
Well, well, you know, but it's like
Well,
here's
no,
your chance
in
to
all
not
honesty-
be illegal.
Yeah. That's one thing. And then another thing is, if you really aren't interested in either of them, by all means, let us know what would get you or your friends to watch us. And
We
listen
need to
us
know what
ramble
you're
on for
interested
an
in.
hour.
Yeah.
Yes. If you say, you know what, I want a blowjob and some crack cocaine, then well, you know
Then
what?
Nick can give that to you.
Well, Nick can give that to you.
That just won't be on stream.
I was gonna say.
All right.
$20 is $20.
So,
but
if you have anything that you feel would be, interesting or, interesting thing to give away, because we're looking at doing bigger giveaways at the end of the month. So if you can, let us know either by our Facebook, by the YouTube comments, Twitch chat, and also the blog itself, just writing comments. Let us know what you think, and
Maybe we'll give you a sexy body pillow.
or maybe we'll just give you a high five.
Or
follow us on Twitter and let us know. Chat with us.
I'm not
We're
giving
people
no
too.
sexy body pillows. The hell?
He's keeping it for himself.
Honestly, I'd be down for that. I would be down to give that to someone because that's hilarious. That's just like a staple.
You know what would be
Okay,
cool?
so-
Another thing would be cool is if we did like those what is it, Nendroids?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey. Well, yeah, we're all trying to figure that out. So
Yeah.
just thank you for supporting us. We have only been doing this for a few weeks, but we're really enjoying it, and we're doing it for you guys. So thank you for tuning in, and you should totally check out our blog, Facebook, YouTube, all that good shit. And
All our links down below.
links down
Yep,
below.
we
Thank you
post
so
good
much.
articles like every day almost.
Check our articles, man, daily except Tuesday. You didn't hear that from me.
Yeah.
All right. All right, later, guys. Thank you for watching.